Hello to everybody. They went to notification. How's everybody doing today? So it's good to see Jazzy come back in here. She went missing a little while there. Hey, Larissa, Pamela, Wheeler Catcher. Wheeler Catcher always comments. If she don't do nothing but say hey, she comments. Hey there, Peggy Cravens. Hey, Ann. St. Elmo's Fair. And that's a unique name there. Hey, Gwen, Denise. You know, y'all, that was a pretty good video I made last night. Hey, Betty. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't that many people watch it, but it's a pretty good video. AK. Well, you're sitting here watching the Georgia football game, and tonight was one of them nights I wasn't gonna do no live. Hey, Michelle. But them comments always make me get on here. And Jamie had a comment today. And I wished I hadn't removed the video, the comment. I didn't block her. She wasn't real nasty. She wasn't real nasty, though, but I just removed the comment because I didn't like it. And what she was saying was, what she was saying is she just wished I would let Tammy do her own video. Something like that. So, I thought about it a little while. Hey, mother. I thought about it a little while. I said something to Tammy about it. And Tammy said, it ain't all about what that woman wants. Yeah. You know that, well, I'm fitting to show y'all here. I'm on there because Tammy wants me on there with her. It's sometimes we do get on top of one another, talking.
But that's usually my fault.
Tammy says it's usually her fault. Hey there, Tracy. All right there, Angela. Well, I mean, they've been a lot of people blocked, y'all. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the results of blocking people. I'm going to show you. I'm fitting to show you here in just a minute. Because I got the proof right here. It ain't too bad no more, Mother. You know, I mean, you don't know what in the world that person thinks, you know. Yeah, they do, don't they, Michelle? I wish she'll be doing it. Jazzy. Jazzy said she found a lump.
Okay.
And y'all, I was wondering about Peter and her mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just what I said, ain't them?
You said her mama.
Peter and his mama. You know, I think they was pretty tight, you know. It sounded like they lived together, you know. And I was wondering if anybody knew anything. Tammy said that was pretty bad, you know. I asked Tammy about it. Hey, Shirley. Tammy said it was pretty bad, you know. It say a major stroke, Tammy.
Yeah, that's the way I took it, but I haven't actually talked to Peter myself except saw his comment that she needed prayer.
But you probably ain't gonna see him much on here, you know.
If Swim gets on there, she may know a little more about it.
But like I hadn't heard nothing, or, you know, just, you know, what little we know, you know. Yeah, Tammy's had a few of them cysts like that too, Jazzy. You know, it wound up being a cyst. She's had some removed, you know.
So I'll be praying for her. We'll be praying.
There's a guy on here, uh, what's his name, y'all? Peter?
Palm Beach Peter and his mom.
Palm Beach Peter and his mama. His mama had a stroke. And I think they lived together. But he always includes his mama in the comments, you know. He always mentions his mama. So, y'all, I mean, I don't have to be in Tammy's video, y'all. But she likes for me to get in there with her. She likes for me to get on there. And if she gets in a jam, I can get in there and start talking or something. I mean, it's not always easy to find the words. It's not easy to think of the words. It's not always that easy to think of even what you want to say. Danny, we love seeing you in all the videos and conversate with us. Hey, you know, I believe that. I believe that, Jazzy, and I want to thank you for that. I do believe that. Uh, but like, I'm not doing it, but I'm not doing it for because I can't stand not talking. I'm not doing it because of that reason. And boy, listen, you know, if people didn't want me on there, I would know it, you know. You know, majority. It's always the majority, you know. You always gonna have some weird people, you know. But I got something to show you. Now, this is the video she done, uh, not today, but the day, the last one she done. APB. Look right here. You see that line there that says average? That's the average video. That's the line there. And you see low there. And then there's a high there too. But you see it's mostly above average. And on this particular video here, y'all, look at when she started talking. And lines start going down. I was asleep. See the lines? See that, y'all? It come up and then started going down. I was asleep. I hate to even like for Tammy to know this kind of stuff. Danny, it's none of the viewer's business how you, Tammy, contact your show. I enjoy y'all working together for goodness sake. I mean, that's right, Linda. And I mean, some of these people's kooky. And that lowest point right there, the mic quit working. That lowest point. Somehow or another, I took the mic off, cut the mic off. But then look, when I got on there, what happened? Because I woke up. And y'all, this right here, I want to show you now. I'm going to make it bigger. Because this is important to Tammy. You see that the prayer ended good. And that ain't been being like that. But them people that hate prayer, see, they ain't been coming in there. They've about quit coming. It wouldn't, Michelle. What Michelle's saying is, I bet if you ran a poll, it would be more people wanting you both on her video. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I already know that, Michelle. You like hearing the devotions, niece? That's what Tammy cares about the most. Tammy gets on here and she likes to she likes to get on here and cut up and stuff, but like, you know, that Bible is what's on her mind. It kind of broke her heart, like when people like don't care about the prayer. Couples seem to fare better in life when they have similar core interests and goals. Your relationship matters most. Yeah, yo, I mean, if I listen to that woman, I've seen I've seen videos when Tammy done them by herself. I look at this stuff right here. I ain't looked in a while, but I did today, just on account of that comment that woman, just on account of that comment that woman made. I went and took a snapshot of it to show y'all. And it's, that it's pretty heartbreaking what Tammy cares about the most. And people don't want to see it, but like, you see how it's changed? At least it's above average. You know, hey, y'all, it used to go down like way down. I'm fitting to get this off the screen because I'm done with it. All right. I love her devotional, sir. I love you too, together. I love the honest banner and laughter. Yeah, thank you, Lorna. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, Tammy don't, everybody cares about views a little bit. Don't be fooled. But she truly would get on here for 10 people and does just what she does now. I know her that good. I ain't even asked her, and I know how she is. It, oh, it sure is. Hey, you better let me fix that.
What was wrong?
Uh, I got an F instead of a D. I'm glad you seen that. The writing on here is real little, Pamela. I'm glad you seen that. I don't, it's. Well, I'm glad you seen it. I'm glad you are crazy like that. Everybody needs a spell checker. And y'all, Man, there ain't been much happening now. And I ain't been able to complain about. Yeah, I think it is still shut down. I can't get on here and complain about it being hot, but me and Tammy's waiting for some lights to come in. We've got everything fixed on the boat. I got the trolling motor sitting over there, to control. I'm going to take it apart and see if I can fix it. I fixed it one time before, and it was working. But out there, when we was out there in the river, when we needed it the most, it quit. I kind of confused about that. I really enjoy barn scenes. Old barns make me smile. Picture makes me want some apple cider. And we went, me and Tammy went to the mountains and it's when we went up there with the preacher and a few other uh, people. But on the last day, me and Tammy's gonna take the long road home. And we went by this place, they had these apples out there. I just got some pictures. And probably video too. 'Cause I was doing YouTube then. It wasn't live, but I was doing YouTube then. But I don't, it's on the hard drive somewhere. External hard drive. But we stopped at this place and they had a bunch of apples out there in these bins on the hand of the world. They sold all them apples. And they had all kind of stuff you could go in there and look at. I mean, man, it was the neatest thing you ever seen, boy. They had a thing in there you could put a quarter in or something and look out way across the mountains. And Tammy bought a gallon of cider. A whole gallon. And it was warm like a cup of coffee. And it was cold up there. It was pretty cool. It was in the fall. Cause the bunch we went with, that's when they like to go. And it was beautiful, y'all. But that apple cider, I couldn't sit here and tell you how good that was, boy. And I ain't never drank none, see. I ain't never had no apple cider. But man, it was good. Hey, Cassie, Danny reckons there is any hay up in there. I bet you there is. You know, that's what that door is up there. But me and Tammy, we went through this town, and I can't never remember the name of that town. Do you, Tammy?
Maggie Valley was
Maggie
where
Valley.
the apples was.
Maggie Valley's where it was. You know, it just sounds like you got to go to Maggie Valley, you know. And they had all these shops and stuff. Man, me and Tammy stopped at every one of them. Tammy bought some t-shirts and stuff like that. We stopped at some restaurant and ate. You know, like just doing what we wanted to do, you know. Hey, uh, Jazzy, try not to worry about that. Wait, let me make sure I'm on the same page. Around the size of a nickel. Very hard and tender. Yeah. Hey, I always get worked up too about that doctor stuff. And Tammy did listen to Mama the other day, you know, the part about the doctor. And, you know, they was uh formalities, you know. And Tammy was saying on there, you know, Tammy told me, you know, that they always say they formalities. She said when she done hers, there was formalities in hers too. I'm talking about Tammy's. And I mean, they'll just scare you. And you know, the women that go to the doctor all the time, I mean, man, they ain't scared of nothing. But like us people that don't go much, it scare you to death. Yeah, that Maggie Valley's pretty good. You can go to Maggie Valley and just stay right there in that one place, and it ain't real big. They tell me like, man, I think she's had about 3 cysts. Stephen had one time on his wrist. But it's easy for somebody like us to say, try not to worry about it, but really try not to worry about it until there's something to worry about, um, you know, because it won't do you no good to worry, Jazzy. It won't get you nowhere to worry. And and this ain't nothing to do with Jazzy here. But y'all, we are here until we gone. Yeah, you keep praying. That Tammy don't, hey y'all, Tammy don't worry none. She's not a worrier, but she's a little worse than what she used to be. I've heard of that before. Oh, Elmo. And y'all, the new 4D mammograms are very sensitive at catching everything.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, you know, Jazzy, when something's on your mind, I can tell you from me getting on here, when something's on your mind, you know, like heavy on your mind, I mean, that's what you're thinking about. And it's, you know, I mean, I'm about over the big mess, you know. But I mean, that was on my mind bad, you know. Like, you know, almost every minute of the day, you know. And it's hard to get on here and when something's on your mind and when something's on your mind, something's on your mind. Now don't worry about it, Jazzy. That's really you're doing what you should be doing, you know, is letting us know because there's a lot of prayer warriors in here. AC Bruce and Tracy. Even Tammy goes to the doctor, she don't worry a bit. I went one time, doctor wanted me to call him back. Talking about that what you mean you want me to call him back? Like what is it, Tammy? Like want me to call him back? What do you want me to call him back for? Sit here and worried about that. It's nothing. And it's always been my belief, and I don't know how much Tammy does believe it, but Tammy told me the same thing, you know. They kind of run you through the mill. They get every bit of blood you got and your money too. But I'm not no expert at that, y'all. I'm not.
Tell her we'll be praying for her. We'll take it serious and be praying for her. Try not to worry about it.
Tammy said try not to worry about it, Jazzy, but like we'll be praying for you. Well, I'm glad you told us, Jazzy. Don't you worry about this show. It's kind of what we on here doing is just talking and having fellowship and stuff. And hey, sometimes we'll laugh, and sometimes we might all cry, you know. But we'll do a little bit of all of it. I learned to do echoes in college, and we all have changed with age. That's all. Yeah. When they say formalities, yeah. Yeah, boy, ain't we all glad we don't think like we did when we was 17 or 18 years old. The only way I would want to go back and do it all again is if I think different. But I probably wouldn't have no friends. I'm a big worrier when it comes to health issues. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I know somebody, y'all, that whenever everything they see on TV, they got it, you know. All them medical commercials. I asked the doctor about that. How'd he like everybody being their own doctor? And he didn't like it all that good. Y'all see that little clover leaf on my thing there? You know, you can click on that and subscribe. Hey, Water, that's a subscribe button on everybody's channel. No matter what they got there, it's a subscribe button. Yeah, I text Water before I went live. He always likes to, Water always likes to get in here. But the mountains, y'all, I love that. You know, I love going up there. It's just a long ways. Man, it's a long ways from here. And we was up there in Cherokee. Uh they had this bingo game. But you win money. And I told Tammy, I said, hey, let's go play bingo. She wouldn't do it, y'all. Because she felt like it was like gambling. And y'all remember the Little River Band? We was 1 mile from the casino where we stayed at. And the Little River Band was up there playing. I said, Tammy, you might not know of the songs, the titles. I said, but you know every song the Little River Band's got. You know every one of them. But Tammy won't go to casinos. She's a barrel of fun. She's just old, boring, regular. She's just a boring, regular old woman. Danny and Tammy, you should go back to Maggie Valley and relive them memories. Yeah, you know, we was passing through the Maggie Valley on the way home. I mean, we went, you know, I had to way to to go on the way home, and that really ain't a good idea to do that on your way home, and I usually don't. But we did that day. She had her cowboy hat on. She had some tight blue jeans on. I mean, looking good. A dog tried to bite her. I told her, don't think too much of it. I even thought about biting her myself. Two or three times that day. But yeah, we had a good time. We was up there a good little while. We was up there with a bunch of church people. And that preacher that died, hey, hey, Cassie, I like to think we're gonna get back going. But I mean, I've been in a heck of a rut, boy. And but anyway, we was up there with, and it wasn't necessarily all people from our church. It was friends, you know. And a few of them's gone now. Hey, hey, brother Sharp, you can count on me going to down there. You can count on us going. You can count on that. I mean, I was already gonna go, brother Sharp. I was already gonna go down there. I mean, I would already be done being and gonna come back. But when you told me you couldn't get out in the river because the river was so low, I do want to be able to get out in the river and ride and stuff. But I promise you, we going, buddy. You just let that river rise up a little bit. It rained. I think it was yesterday, but I don't know if it rained enough to do any good. I mean, it might come up an inch or something, and it needs to come up more than that. I was thinking a while ago, y'all. Like I never stop thinking. I never stop. Hey, George done come back, ain't it, Timmy?
Yeah.
I was thinking, here's what I need to do. I need to get him a little riverboat, and I can take this program right here with me. But I need, how I can take and use Tammy's camera, when she goes in the kitchen and stuff and all that. I want to put a camera like on a step ladder and aim it down at the water in my little boat and ride through them rock piles, slow, where I can watch the footage.
Pass interference all day long.
And I mostly remember the rocks down there, y'all. I mostly do. But I need to get reacquainted, because I didn't realize it. I didn't realize how long it's been since I've been down there. Now, Tammy, when was that I told you, Stephen, and we released that big catfish? Was it 2000?
I don't remember, baby.
Anyway, see, it's been a long time since I've been to that East of 'em boat landing.
I thought it was 2011.
Oh yeah, not 2000, not 2000. I know it wasn't 2000. I'm glad you said something to me. I think it was 2020, and I didn't know we'd been a member uh, of that sportsman club. So we've been a member at least that long. But I'd like to put me a ladder up in my boat and put my camera up there on it to see through the rocks where I can look at the footage. Because there's kind of something about it to me that you can remember a video pretty good. I mean, I can. I can I can watch a video and I can remember that video. Like even if it's been 20 years, you know. I can remember, I don't know what it is about it, but I can get kind of know the rocks again. And there's such thing as it being so low, you know, that you can't miss every rock. You know, I mean, you might bump something or something because there is rocks down there. But I need to do that. And you got to do it while the river's low. If it comes up, you had to wait all the way to next year. I went along for fun with friends. Been a long time. I've never gambled, but I enjoyed the buffet. Yeah, like Tammy won't even go in there. Hey, thank you, Miss Peggy, for coming in. Good night, Peggy. That's a fine woman there, y'all. Well, you know, on the bingo, on the bingo, they pay, you win money. But I mean, I thought it was like that everywhere you played bingo. I ain't never played bingo at nowhere, but I thought it was like that everywhere. Actually, we was gonna meet Wilkes County boy up there, and his wife. He was married then, and I don't know what's happened to him. You know why he. I mean, y'all all know just as good as I do. Man, he can be on here and be just as good as he could be. And then he get on here, I mean, y'all know how he does. The last conversation me and him had, drinking, the last conversation me and him had, I said, brother, I ain't helping you no more with the women. I said, if you get on there and you make up to the women on there, it's gonna be you doing it this time. I'm not gonna tell everybody to keep giving you chances. He got mad. I mean, I wound up hanging the phone up. He got mad. I started telling him, to win the women over, win the women back over. And something on my mind too. And I don't know why I've always failed to mention this, but I guess now's a good time to say it. Y'all remember that Reverend Dream got on Stephen's channel and asked him was he messaging his wife. Now I've mentioned that a bunch of times. And he shouldn't have done it. Reverend Dream shouldn't have done it. But he did. Now he knows Stephen ain't done it. And here's what I'm saying, y'all. I ain't heard no apology out of him. Did you know I couldn't throw it in his face if he apologized? But I mean, have y'all heard an apology? See, I ain't heard one neither. And he could simply apologize. When you wrong, that's the thing to do. He say, hey man, I messed up, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Then I'm glad you said that. I thought it was other reasons. Yeah, I mean, hey y'all, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And see, he knows he knows better than that, y'all. I don't even claim to be no preacher. And if I get on here and I'm wrong, I'll say, hey, look here, y'all. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Oh, yeah, and hello there, Kathy, by the way. People just beat all they ever seen, man. You want me to let y'all in on a little secret? I have never lied to y'all. That ain't. Bible says you will know them by their fruit. I had never lied to y'all. And I ain't fit to start. Your reputation is all you got. Like at the end, when you go home, it does matter. If you was a lying, cheating, no good for nothing, it does matter. And I had a stepdaddy one time, not the last one Mama was married to, but it's one before that. We was actually with him a long time. He lied all the time. He lied to me. He lied to people he worked with. He lied to his mama. He lied to his daddy. He lied to everybody. I ain't never seen nobody such a bad liar as him. And everybody knew it too. Everybody knew that's what he was a liar. Everybody knew it. He'd rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. But that broke me up from lying. Yeah. And we run into people lying and stuff. And I won't sit here and listen to what I know is a lie. I just won't. Uh, a lot of times I'll say something to them. But nobody wants to stand there and listen to somebody lying. And you know they lying. It's different if you don't know they lying. But you know they lying. I am going to call it a night. It's a long, busy day. Good night, everyone. Take care. Okay, PP. Glad you come in, PP. And y'all, Steven's been pretty quiet. We ain't seen him in 2 days. What gets me, Danny, is when they start believing their lies. You ever seen somebody that'll get mad because you don't believe their lie? I have. I don't know what happened one time, but about a TV mama had. We took a TV to get it fixed. And I'm sure the man wrote a receipt. But then this liar, he made his own receipt. And he was left-handed. And Mama knew his right. And you could see that slanted left hand writing. So he wrote Mama a receipt for him to get his money back. And I knew his daddy, and his daddy was a liar too. He was the same way. He had a brother, now he wasn't like that. He yelled. But anyway, I heard enough lies in my life that had an effect on me. always, always talking about what he's gonna do. And he had a GUN one time. And he gave that GUN to me. And it meant missing out the gun cabinet.
You said that word.
Oh, I did say it. He said he took it to work and tried to fix it and got mad and sawed it up in pieces. And see, we know he was lying about that. But we don't know what he done with that GUN, you know. He wasn't all bad. I mean, I guess nobody's all bad. But, you know, the fact is, you know, that, like, you couldn't believe nothing he said. You couldn't believe nothing he said. And I ain't even supposed to be talking about Mama, y'all. But, I will tell you this. Hey, me and Tammy had a trailer to burn when we was young. The one me and Tammy bought in high school. I actually think Stephen caught it on fire while we was asleep. He thinks he did too. Matter of fact, he says he did. But somebody told Mama, and he stayed at home. You know, the line stepdaddy stayed at home. It was at night. She went down there. It was gone a long time, you know. And come back home. He forgot about it. And the next day at work, people was asking him. I know this because Mama told me, see. The next day at work, people was asking about Danny and Tammy's house burnt down. And he didn't know nothing about it. And you know how a woman will give a man rope? Sometimes they'll give them all the rope they want, you know. And he called her up at work wanting to know what happened. Like, he didn't want to know what happened until people started asking him what happened. I see that, Ian. And she said I seen right then true color. And I had been telling her for a long time he didn't like us. But she finally seen. So if you think about it like as if it was you. If your youngest house was on fire, would you lay down and go back to sleep? And the answer is you wouldn't lay down and go back to sleep. You would be freaked out. Even if it was your stepson and his wife. And so that's kind of the end of that. But anyway, that's like about the end of the rope there, y'all. She wasn't she wasn't the same no more. You know how women are. I mean you can't how can you lie your way out of that? And women want to believe you. They want to believe you. But how can you lie out of that? And I remember I was roofing then. And I was I hadn't been in it very long at all. And my house burnt that night, and I was supposed to go the next day and roof a house for this contractor. So when you start in the roofing business, y'all, you don't get the good jobs. You get the new houses that don't pay very much. And then you build up to like working for actually homeowners themselves. When you prove yourself that that you will do what you say you'll do and you're a good dude and all that. You work into that. And I did. But what I'm talking about now, I was just starting. I was doing these new houses. And I didn't go to work that next day. I was supposed to go roof a house. And I didn't go. And I showed up the next day at the office, where I worked out of. The man asked me about that. I said, he said, why come you didn't go to work? He's a shit ass. I said, my house burnt down. He just turned around and walked out. And that's also kind of hard to lie your way out of, too. I think his daddy, he worked, his daddy was the actual owner of the business, but the sons was in there. I don't know how they doing the money, but the daddy was the actual owner. And the daddy, I remember he gave us $100, and I think the daddy got on his butt, but I didn't forget about that, about it. He didn't care that my house burnt down. And it was like that about everything. And man, I was just like I am now, you know. I mean, I was honest and straight, and like, if I told you I'd do something, I'd do it. If I told you I'd be there, I'd be there. Because I know that's real important, man. I knew it then. That was taught to me, you know. My daddy taught me that, and I taught Stephen the same thing. It's real, really important to do what you say you do. But like nothing you for that man that I worked for, he treated me like the other people that lied to him and all that. And I started getting a little work, you know, around Dublin, you know, from homeowners. I don't like working for contractors. They they kind of, well, I mean, they've been lied to and all kind of stuff, you know, the contractors. And they deal with a bunch of people, and they can't hardly make people do right and everything. But like, I wasn't one of them that you had to make do what was right. I would do what was right. And I quit that man. I said, I don't care if I don't make it, you know. I can't I can't take no more of his mouth. You know, I mean, I mean, I guess he's about the same age as me, you know. You know, I'd be like, you know, 100 miles away roofing the house. He'd say, how about swing by and fix that leak? You know, that another man doing before I even worked there. And man, I'd go roof house and then ride a bunch of miles out of the way. And I'd go by there and fix the leak. Do everything that the dumb man wanted me to do, you know, try to do what's right. It didn't matter what you're doing, he still treated you bad. It didn't matter what you're doing. He treated you like you was lying. I remember one particular house. You know, I was doing these new houses, you know, and we had some vents you supposed to put on the back of the house, 4 vents. We put it on near about every house, but they didn't have the holes cut out. He said, "Why didn't you put them on there anyway?" I said, "Man, that can't nobody go back and cut a hole out from inside the attic. They don't even know where the vent is." I said, he said, well, why didn't you cut them out? I said, I ain't got no skill saw. He said, well, why didn't you beat a hole in it with a hatchet? I said, I ain't got no hatchet. You know, like, it didn't matter what you said. That's how he was. Now, do you know what would have happened if I'd have put them vents down without a hole being there? I would have been the one going back and having to fix it. You think you can work for somebody like that? I don't think so. Is it over, Tim?
Not quite.
Is Georgia up?
20 to 10.
Is Georgia done come back on 'em?
2 minutes left.
I've had a rough life, a lot of loss and heartache in my life, but we can change it one day at a time. Yeah. Hey, y'all, I wasn't used to being around people like that, that like this, and they stinkers. Jamie, she had a part-time job one time at the Holiday Inn. And there's some stuff went on out there, boy. The cooks dropped steaks in the floor. People that worked there threw them in the trash can. And the man come and got them out of the trash can and put them back on the grill and served them to them people. Now that's pretty bad off, ain't it? To be so bad, off for a business to be so bad off, they can't throw 3 steaks away that fell on the floor. People walking in there. I don't believe in that 3 second rule and all that. I think that's a joke. And people's going to the bathroom and walking in there. And then people ate them steaks. And I called out there one time and I said, let me speak to Timmy. He said, she's busy. And you might tell other men that and get away with it. But when I call and want to talk to Timmy, I don't care what they doing. I don't care if there's 500 people outside. I called her for a reason. I said, look here, you fat SOB. If you don't put her on that telephone, I'm coming out there. And I mean it. I mean it too. I ain't no bluffer, y'all. uh, hey, sometimes it's kind of hard to forgive, ain't it, Alona? Sometimes it's kind of hard to forgive, boy. There ain't no doubt about that now. Boy, when that tarnish is put there, boy. And hey, y'all, Steve and y'all, he can get mad And I admire him, you know. You know, like the next day, you know, I mean, he's over it. Like when he was over there working on that boat motor stand, another man come over there. That other man's been staying away from us. That other man's like kind of monkeying with his wife. I don't know how much, you know. I know a little bit. But Stephen said something to him. And if it was me, I wouldn't be forgot. And I wouldn't be too forgiving neither. I'm different. I'm a lot different than Stephen. But you got to admire that, you know. If if I get a bad taste in my mouth about somebody, I don't hardly ever forget. I forgive for me, not for them. I don't want to carry that. But like I've noticed that a lot of times about Stephen, you know. I've told him that's how he is, you know. A lot of times you don't like know how you are, you know, about everything. Like you know, like Tammy's real good, you know. And Danny, you are different. I'm different. Jazzy, I'm actually my normal self there, Jazzy. You know, Jazzy, you know, I done too good in business, you know, to be, you know, different, you know, than I done too good, you know. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Everyone like and subscribe and share. Oh, Danny, you don't take no crap. No, I ain't never done. I ain't never done that now. Uh-uh. I ain't never done that. I ain't never been good at that. But y'all, I was gonna tell y'all. I don't think Tammy's told y'all. But you ain't supposed to, especially if you're right. Uh, so I noticed y'all that Tammy was a little snappy, you know. And I know that ain't like her. And I'm telling you, I know that ain't like her to be a little snappy, you know. But she's a little snappy there for about 2 or 3 weeks, I reckon. And I mean, like a little ill. Say something to her, you know, she's liable just no telling what she's liable to actually say, you know. You know, I was talking to y'all about like getting an argument about like just a little word game, you know what I mean? I might not say something exactly right. She might not answer me exactly right. And say, like, what's wrong with you? But she had told the doctor about it. And the doctor doubled her dose of this anxiety. Am I saying that right, Tim?
Yeah.
And you know, women liable, I mean, the women like get messed up sometimes, And she's all out of whack, she has to take stuff to be, to be herself. Well, I actually married. And so she run out of the high dose and she went to the half a dose. And she told me a couple of days ago that that's actually what happened. That she wasn't getting enough of that pill. She wasn't getting enough. And y'all, she changed like a light switch. She just told me a couple of days ago. I said, man, I didn't know what was wrong with you. It's just natural, Miss Denny. All us wives can be a little snappy sometimes. Yeah, I know that, but that ain't really like Tammy. They'll be snappy. It ain't really like her. It's you can make her mad if you're trying to, but she don't like normally just get mad just from having a conversation, and she would get ill like this in conversation. But as she changed like turning on a light switch, man. And y'all, I'm not taking nothing. Y'all was messing with me so much about the vitamin D. And asked Tammy about it. She said, yeah, you're supposed to be taking it. Yeah, she did get adjusted. That's a good word there, Denise. But I did start back taking the vitamin D. Because I know that like I don't get out in the sun enough. Ain't that what that's for, Tammy?
Yeah.
The vitamin D.
Yeah.
But I did start back taking it. And I quit drinking tea. And I was talking to Tammy. We always talking. I was talking about, like if you eat a bunch of sugar and stuff, it'll make you sluggish. And I asked her about it. She said, yeah, it'd do that to me too. So I'm trying to stay away from that sugar, in a reasonable amount. I mean, I ain't gone crazy about it, but I've been drinking this stuff that Janae sent. Yeah, I'm taking it, Helen. And I can't tell you I feel no better. Uh, stay away from that sugar, but I can tell you, like whenever I eat, like that dessert. See, I ate a big old amount. And I can tell it makes you sluggish, like them donuts and stuff, them chocolate donuts. It makes you sluggish. And and here's the thing, y'all, about big eaters. Trying to eat more. I've been trying to eat more fruit. We've doing that too, Denise. Mostly grapes. So last night, instead of like eating again, I ate grapes.
I just
But
had,
uh, but then after I ate them grapes, I ate some of that blueberry stuff Tammy cooked. You know, Tammy made that. And that stuff's good too, boy. It's good. All right, now here's what I was gonna say. I started kind of learning about that dieting thing. At one time there, I started learning about that dieting, and all the women know about it. Tammy knows about it. All the women, they experts on, like what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do and all that. All right, so here's the thing about big eaters. Uh, like Tammy don't eat half of what I eat, see. But like, even if something is low fat, I'll simply eat so much, that you get fat. But it's a big old mess, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if any of y'all ever had or been alcoholic, smoked cigarettes, stuff like that. That dieting, I've done all three, the alcohol thing and smoking and dieting. And that dieting is the hardest thing of everything. Because fat doesn't make you fat. Oh, let me get back on track here. There you Slim. So y'all, let me see where I was at. Oh yeah. You can get over not drinking, I mean, you don't, hell, I don't think about drinking, y'all. Only time I think about drinking is like when something's real, 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 real heavy on my mind. I ain't had nothing heavy on my mind, till a month ago. And I was wanting to drink. But other than that, I don't sit around wishing I had a 12 pack. And I've quit smoking a few times. And you can get over that, I mean, at least you think you over it. You can like block it from your mind somehow. I don't know how, but you can block not smoking from your mind. Your brain is thinking about it, but like you're not thinking about it. At least you don't think you are. But that dieting, son, that is one more fact that you're near about can't hardly win trying to not eat. And I mean, you might do good for a few days and all that, I mean, I'm talking about me. And then just blow it all out of proportion, and then you kind of got to start all over again. And it's just never ending. You can forget about the cigarettes, you can forget about the alcohol. But that food, That's something hard to whip. Now, here's what I heard. And it was a man, I kind of trust what he says. He said that you can get used to eating small portions. And I know I don't eat as much as I used to eat. Uh, but I ain't never been able to get used to eating small portions. But they said that you can get used to eating small portions. Do y'all believe that? I want to see what y'all say about that. Do y'all believe you can get used to eating small portions? You believe it, Tammy?
Yeah.
Tammy said she believes it. Yes, I have. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Dang. I say I probably ain't telling y'all nothing y'all don't know. Yes, more frequent meals. That's what Tammy does, Denise. That's what the doctor told her to do. And Pamela Vargas there, I know she eats a small amount, real small amounts. Real small amounts. She told me that one time. I think she was on my show one night. We was talking about it. Yes, I do. And I have heard, that like you get addicted to sugar. That you can get addicted to sugar. And I use Trivia in my coffee. I eat a portion the size of a palm of my hand. Yeah, that's right. That'd be a joke for me, Pamela. Eat a portion the size of the palm of my hand. Yeah, I use a smaller plate too, Elaine. Oh, look here, boy. I used to eat a plate of grits. I had a big old plate. A big plate. I mean, it might have been something like you put a turkey on or something or other. I mean, it was a platter, Timmy said. And I could eat that whole plate full of grits. I use a 1 cup measure. A grit not much. I don't understand y'all. There's, I mean, if you go to the grocery store and stuff or go to Walmart or anywhere, I mean, y'all, and what I'm saying is true. You see more big people than you do like slender, fit people. And I see what all y'all saying here, you don't eat much. But what y'all saying here don't really go with the society that we see, when we go out. I lost weight eating all day, very small portions. The honest way that the honest good way I lost weight, y'all, was I was still eating a lot, but I was going to the gym. Miss Danny, it's what they put in our food these days. Oh, really? Sugar throws my self control. Try to eat healthy. Hey, I don't know. You go broke trying to eat healthy. Y'all seen them Omaha mistakes commercials? Timmy laughing at me. Lately, I'm losing around 3 pounds a week. I try to eat healthy. My problem is my Pepsi. Yeah, Danny, you sure can. Yeah, Tammy's bought that stuff for y'all, and well, I mean, she still does, you know. But I mean, that stuff's expensive, you know. Like there's some place we could go to, and we got eating salads. There's some place we used to go to. Tammy probably knows the name of it. But it had this real big old salad, a big one, boy. And Tammy said, by the time you put all that stuff on it, and I like a lot of that stuff you pour on it, salad dressing. You know what I mean? Tammy said, it ain't doing you no good. It ain't doing you no good to eat that salad with all that stuff you putting on. So I mean, it's like you can't hardly win, you know. And say Tammy can't. Hey y'all, I mean, uh, Tam, I know walking's good for you. Uh, but like Tammy can't hardly do that. But I know, I used to work at the oil mill. Me and Tammy both used to work at the oil mill. We was in school. And I worked in the spinning room. And them women that worked in there, you wouldn't believe how good they looked. Because they never sat down. You know what I mean? If they wasn't fixing something, they was walking around these big old frames, big old long frames, and they had like 8 frames in there. There's a big old building, and but I mean, I remember them. I remember I had a girlfriend that her mama worked there, and I mean, she's like her mama like looked better than her daughter. And all them women was in tip top shape, man. Tip top. Every one of them. There wasn't no overweight women running that worked in the spinning room. I mean, you might go in there overweight, but I mean, you like get burned so many calories, Yeah, I don't drink many Coke. Tammy likes Coca-Colas. And she always has, you know. And Tammy's dieting. That is a everyday struggle. You know what I mean? I don't say struggle, but it's an everyday thing, you know. But I like, now you know, when I was young, you know, I liked Coca-Colas, you know. And I guess y'all might have been the same way, you know. But I used to like drink Coca-Colas and stuff a lot. But I don't, you know, about once a week or something or other. I said, Tim, we got any Coca-Colas over there? The new Coke has cane sugar now. Hey, that's a new one on me there.
You ain't had none, you got old Coke.
Did you know that, Tammy?
No,
Hey, that's good there, Helen. I mean, Pamela. And I was talking to Tammy the other night, y'all. And I don't like breathing in this mic. And I do it, but I don't like it. And I was talking to Tammy, and I had a buddy, you know, that's like big old. He's 6'4", 6'5". I was telling Tammy that I remember when he was in high school, you'd be talking to him on the phone, and he breathed hard, you know. And he was in high school. Well, y'all, hey, it's near about 12 o'clock. I think we probably ought to wrap it up. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all coming in here. I do enjoy getting on here. You know, it's kind of hard getting started, but if you always got something to start on, you can always kind of make it, you know. I can, it seems like. I always look at the ingredients. I never look at the ingredients. But, you know, I hear more and more people talking about the food, you know. And I've heard a man on YouTube talking about it. He lost 80 pounds. But I don't know exactly what he's eating, but he's eating certain things. And you know, he was talking about, you know, he didn't have much energy. And as I was telling Tammy that, you know, I mean, I'm also like that too, you know, I mean, I think it's because I've done so much in my life that it's really kind of hard to get me interested, you know, in uh I'm not very interested in a lot of things no more like I used to. And also, I was thinking of this a while ago too. And hey, y'all, I don't sit around and just think of stuff like for YouTube because I don't do that. But like I am always thinking. And back whenever I used to be in school, I didn't learn much, you know. I did pretty good in the science class. But like, man, school is very, very, very boring. I mean, it ain't no fun. How can you? How can you hardly learn something that you don't care about? Oh, they was boring. They was. The teachers was boring. But yeah, you know, like something like I want to know, y'all. Oh, I will learn it. And like that boat motor I got, y'all. Man, I know that thing from one end to the other. And Steven's motor too. Because they about the same thing. Oh, mine's a little bit more horsepower, but they basically the same motor. And I've done learned that thing from like one end to the other. And you know, as far as the trim, lets the lets the motor up and down and stuff. Bunch of people don't hardly know about the trim. But like I'm an expert now on the trim. But I took the time and read and read and read, watched some videos, and it's not that much to it. But like if you like don't know nothing about it, it's a big old monster, man. It's a big old monster if you don't know nothing about it. But actually, there's not very much to it. And I guarantee you, I could, right now, I could start working on people's power trim on their motors because nobody knows nothing about it. Hey, Slim, you don't know about Peter and his mama no more than what you posted to you. I was talking about that a little earlier. It might have been before you got in here. You don't know nothing about Peter and his mama, do you? No more than what you did? Okay. If you hear from 'em, let me know, Slim. There's quite a few people like that I particularly keep up with, you know, because I asked Tammy about it. She said that was bad, bad, bad. You know, she said that was bad. Then she's on up there too. You know, I mean that's what happened to her's bad on a young person. You know, she was telling me about a girl that had a stroke in church. While she was at church, she's 88. Yeah, I say that's bad if it's a young person, but she said the girl, has, pretty much recovered. Said she still talks slow and stuff. And how long's that been, Tammy?
Oh Lord, it's been several years.
Several
I
years.
don't know, I'd guess 5. It might have been more than that.
She said she's guessing 5, but I mean, Tammy said when she talks slow. And I know the girl. I put an antenna up for 'em one time. And I talked to her a pretty good bit then when I was putting the antenna up. I want to tell y'all I appreciate all y'all. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all coming in here. Okay? Thank y'all for everything. Good night, y'all. We may go to the river tomorrow. And you know where? It'll probably be on here, y'all. Oh, let me see something here. Okay, so I was looking at Charles deleted something that Wilson Robin was hidden by. Hey Charles, you didn't mean to do that, did you? Okay. Wilson Robin was unhidden. So that's just a mistake there, y'all. You know, it does happen. It does happen, y'all. So I seen what she said, and he just made a mistake. Tammy's done that same thing, like walking with her phone in her hand, block somebody. Oh yeah, that like kind of threw me for a loop there. But sorry about that. I was walking with my phone. Yeah, yeah, I know it happens, and then it does happen. But see, we know you, Charles. We knew it was an accident, you know. Because we know you, Brother Love. Hey, y'all, I appreciate everything. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably, if we do go to the river tomorrow, we'll live do it. It'll be on this channel. It'll be on this channel. As some people complain, I done it on Tammy's channel. Last time there was people complaining and stuff. So we'll do it on my channel. How about that? Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Bye-bye. Good night. Go to bed. Good night.